Look at this building. Now look at this one. How do they make you feel? Anxious? Intimidated? Small? If your answer is yes, you are not alone. For decades, these great concrete monsters have been voted as the ugliest buildings in the world. They look like supervillain lairs or government bunkers from a dystopian future. This style of architecture is called brutalism. And let's be honest, with a name like that, it sounds like these buildings were designed to punish us. But what if I told you that you've been lied to? Welcome to episode 1 of our deep dive into the most controversial architectural style in human history. Today we are going to uncover why architects built these concrete giants, why Hollywood is obsessed with them, and why, surprisingly, they are making a massive comeback today. First, let's clear the air. Brutalism has nothing to do with being brutal. The name actually comes from the French phrase béton brut, which simply means raw concrete. It wasn't meant to be aggressive. It was meant to be honest. No paint, no fake decorations. Just the raw, naked structure of the building showing you exactly what it is. To understand brutalism, we have to travel back in time. The year is 1945. World War II is over, and Europe is in ruins. Millions of people had lost their homes. Governments needed to rebuild whole cities, and they had to do it fast, cheap, and on a massive scale. Concrete. It was cheap to produce, easy to mold into any shape, and practically indestructible. Architects like the famous Le Corbusier saw an opportunity not just to build houses, but to build a better society. They created a utopian vision. Instead of small, dark houses spread out over miles, why not build massive vertical cities? They designed giant concrete complexes where thousands of people could live together. These buildings had everything: apartments, shops, schools, and parks on the roof. They called them streets in the sky. The goal was incredibly noble: to use raw concrete to give everybody, rich or poor, a high-quality place to live. Brutalism was born out of hope, democracy, and equality. So, what went wrong? How did a utopian dream turn into a concrete nightmare? Well, reality hit hard. First of all, raw concrete looks beautiful and futuristic on a sunny day in the Mediterranean. But under the gray, rainy skies of London, Berlin, or Chicago, it gets wet, it stains, and it turns into a depressing, dark gray sponge. Secondly, governments stopped caring. These massive buildings required constant maintenance, but city councils often cut the budgets. Elevators broke down. The long, dark corridors that were supposed to be streets in the sky became dangerous. By the 1970s and 80s, these concrete utopias were heavily associated with poverty, crime, and social isolation. The public started to hate them. Politicians started calling them eyesores and ordered them to be demolished. The dream was officially dead. But while the public hated brutalism, someone else fell deeply in love with it: Hollywood. Think about it. If you are a movie director and you need a location that feels authoritarian, cold, and powerful, where do you go? You go to a brutalist building. We see this everywhere. The terrifying headquarters in the Hunger Games. The futuristic, oppressive worlds of Blade Runner 2049 and Dune. Or the iconic locations in A Clockwork Orange. It's not just movies, either. If you play video games, look at the game Control. The entire game is a masterpiece of brutalist architecture. In pop culture, raw concrete has become the universal symbol for dystopian control. It makes humans look tiny and powerless against a massive system. Now, here is the craziest plot twist in the history of architecture. Today, brutalism is back. And it's cooler than ever. If you open Instagram, Pinterest, or TikTok, you will find millions of posts romanticizing brutalist architecture. Why? Because visually, it is stunning. The sharp geometric shadows. The heavy lines. The raw texture. It looks incredible on camera. And there is a huge irony here. Buildings that were originally designed as cheap social housing for the working class are now being bought by developers, renovated, and sold as million-dollar luxury lofts for hipsters and tech brothers. people are paying a premium to live inside the raw concrete walls that their grandparents tried to tear down. Brutalism is a style of extremes. It represents our highest utopian hopes, and our darkest dystopian fears. It went from heroic, to hated, to trendy again. But I want to know what you think. If you had the money, would you live in a luxury brutalist apartment? Or do you think we should tear them all down? Let me know in the comments below. This was just part 1. Today we looked at the Western world, but the true kings of raw concrete were behind the Iron Curtain. In the next episode, we are traveling to the Soviet Union and Yugoslavia to look at some of the most alien, mind-blowing, and bizarre monuments ever built by human hands. You won't want to miss it, so make sure to hit the subscribe button.